There's nothing.
Thank you, son.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Now, I briefly want to talk about this. I know I'm a little late on this subject, but I wanted to talk about the state of play that we had recently. Now, obviously, a lot of people are already bashing it, saying it's the worst thing ever and all that, but I'm actually going to defend it a little bit and actually talk about some of the games and highlights and my personal opinion. So if you don't like this, you can click out now, or if you do like it, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So there is that. It actually helps out the channel. But beyond that, and that shameless self-promotion aside, let's actually get into the video. Now, when it comes to the state of play, it was kind of mid, but my biggest highlight from the state of play is the EA game Split Fiction, which I've been keeping my eye on, and I actually have talked about it, especially at the Game Awards when I talked about that. But when it comes to Split Fiction, honestly, it actually looks pretty cool. A lot of people are calling the game woke, which I am so sick of that word. It's been overused, bastardized, and at this point, can we not just have a game and it be whatever it is without people just kind of trying to turn it into something else just because they feel that it's going to be this when you haven't even played it yet, The game is awesome. It actually looks pretty fun and it has some complex story. Did actually reveal that some of these stories and stuff like that are going to tie in to the characters, so it's actually pretty cool, and I think it's pretty interesting given the fact that I did play a little bit of It Takes Two, and these co-op adventures actually tell a story for both characters and kind of complement one another. So I actually think that this game is going to be an interesting game to play as a walkthrough if people want to see that, and honestly, it does have some interesting callbacks to different sci-fi and also fantasy genre elements and other various stuff, with a lot of callbacks and a lot of interesting complex gameplay. Honestly, from the trailer, we're gonna even fight against dragons, so that's gonna be really fun. Also, another highlight for me was another Capcom game, which I'm going to get into this a little bit later, but I'm kind of sick of seeing Monster Hunter. I'm not going to play it, and it's not my cup of tea, but Capcom, please, if we know it's coming out, you don't have to overshow something. Like, this state of play literally opens us up with a game that we know is coming out, we've seen it, we really didn't need this, like, we already knew. But, this other game that we saw and got a better look at, I've never actually played this franchise. I'm more of a Devil May Cry and Resident Evil guy, so it actually is something that might be a fresh perspective for me to get into something I've never played before, and that is Ultima Way of the Sword. Maybe I'm mispronouncing the first part of that, but basically, it's an interesting Capcom franchise that they are going to be releasing sometime in 2026, which looks actually pretty fun. I've never actually played these types of games before, but it does feel like Capcom with its unique creature design and stuff like that, so I actually might play it, and as someone who played and loved Ghost of Tsushima, I might actually try this because it probably will have similar gameplay with a little bit of Capcom flair. Also, we did get a Days Gone remake announcement and a couple various things. Honestly, these two, being the Otomosho, Way of the Sword, and also Split Fiction, were really the biggest highlights for me in the show. Honestly, the show wasn't that bad. My biggest problem were the fans and the gamers going in there with very high expectations, thinking we're going to get GTA 6, Resident Evil 9, and other various stuff. I feel like high expectations kind of ruin every type of show. I feel like that's the biggest problem. And if you actually looked at the chat, it was nothing but L's, woke, this, that, we want GTA, we want this, we want that, and it honestly just boils down and ruins every freaking show. I feel like high expectations, if you go in there expecting something and you don't get it, don't be freaking disappointed. Like, the problem is not the show itself, it's you. If really, the state of plays are pretty much a mystery box, and you don't know what you're going to get. And if I'm being honest with you, some of these games were pretty interesting announcements. Like, we get to see better looks at stuff that we didn't get to see before. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. And honestly, I don't think that's bad. I think some elements of the showcase were not the greatest. Some of the game reveals were kind of mid. We did get something for Digimon. We did get something, I believe, for A couple other stuff, you know. But honestly, being surprised is not really a bad thing when it comes to these showcases or state of plays. I feel like if we go in there with high expectations, expecting something, we can't complain when we're disappointed by not getting what we wanted. We shouldn't have expected it in the first place. Being surprised and actually getting something we weren't expecting is just as great and just as gratifying. But hey, that's just my personal opinion. If Sony actually put out a list, I'm pretty sure nobody would watch these state of plays. So yeah. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Happy late Valentine's, everyone, and hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of accepted my rambling and my thoughts on stuff. But yeah, peace out. Bye-bye.